Welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice. Join me as we explore spirituality, self-help, and channeling spirits. Hello and welcome to From Beyond with your host Glenn Boddice, spiritual medium. Thank you for tuning in again for another action-packed show this week. As this week we're going to be exploring audible frequencies. Also in the show this week we will have the channeling from spirit, which sees me becoming a vessel for spirit to bring their communications and wisdom through. And then in this week's show we will have this week's energy forecast reading. So hopefully that will help you navigate your way through the course of this week. But before we go into that, I'd just like to share some really good news with you all. I've just released a new book on Amazon, and this book is called Awakening the Light. Now, what makes this book more special is the fact that it's all been channeled from spirit. And the content within this book is all about finding out who you are, your soul ascension, aligning with those frequencies. And also it's about recognizing the truths that's happening in the world, in the universe at the moment, and creating your heaven on earth in your now moment reality. So it's very much a guidebook, so to speak, to help you live the best possible life that you can during all of your earthly moments there. Now, as I say, this is available from Amazon. It's available as an ebook. It's available as a paperback version. And it's also available as an audiobook via Audible. And that's also available on Amazon. So go and give it a look. You can have a test run. You can listen to some of the free content. You can also experience some of the chapters in there before you commit to buying it. So go and give that a look. I just thought I'd share my good news with you all. It's a wonderful blessing, in fact, to be able to channel all of that information through in this format for you all. So, without further ado, let's get cracking with today's show. So we're talking about audible frequencies. Now, as you may or may not be aware, frequencies are within everything. Frequency is a vibration, a continuation of movement, of energy. It can be picked up and perceived as audible sounds as well, and visual. There's frequency within visual information, but basically we're talking about audible frequencies, so we're focusing on that today. And so, as you may be aware, I believe that it was stated in the Bible that in the beginning there was a sound, and from that sound all creation was birthed, was made. Well, that sound, as we say, is frequency, is vibration, it's a coding, isn't it? It's when things can be created and expanded and come into harmony. And, we can create many things from sound, vibration, and frequency. Also, sound can be very healing as well, as I'm sure many of you will appreciate. The times that you feel inspired to play a song, maybe from your favorite artist or, band that you follow, and you just feel inspired to put that music on. And upon doing that, you instantly feel energetic. You feel more in alignment. You feel more happy. You've got more energy. And this is all because of the frequencies, as well as obviously maybe the lyrics, the content, the information within that song. But generally speaking, it's the frequencies behind that that's being presented to you that are having an impact, having an emotional and energetic effect on your body, giving that resonance. As you're resonating and aligning with that frequency, it's heightening your vibration. So sound plays a very, very important role in all of our lives. And most of us can take sound for granted, and we just say, oh, it's that song, without realizing actually the ingredients, the beautiful energy behind that sound, behind that intention there that's coming through. So the next time you do listen to music, or maybe hear sounds when you're out and about, maybe in nature or cars or something like that, just appreciate and understand the frequency behind that sound and what sort of impact is that sound and that frequency having on you as an individual. Now, moving along on this tangent, there's a technique that I like to share with my students upon the spiritual development class, and I'm sure everybody that's listening to this episode can benefit from at least trying this that I'm going to share with you, as you will find great benefit in doing it. And what I'm about to share with you, again, it follows the principles of sound, of frequency, and heightening your vibrations. Now, in order to heighten your vibrations, let's say if you're having a very sort of flat day and you need that upliftment, most people will go to the treat cupboard, they'll go to the fridge, some people will go for a cigarette or something like that to boost their vibration, to boost their energies, to give them that upliftment. Well, I say there's no need to do that. You can do all of this by using this following technique that I'm about to share with you. And this technique involves you taking a big deep breath in the lungs and then creating a humming tone and holding that note for as long as possible. Okay, so I'll give you a demonstration of this that I'm talking about, okay? So I'm going to take a big deep breath in through the nose, and then I'm going to hum. And then just relax into that feeling after you've done that, and just notice how your body vibrates. You'll get obviously a vibration in your ears. They may start to tingle. Your physical body and your energetic body will start to feel lighter. You'll just feel uplifted prior to doing this exercise. You'll feel more in alignment with who you truly are. And you can do this as many times as you want throughout the course of your day. When you are feeling that need to maybe shift your frequencies, heighten it, and have that benefit of these sound healing frequencies permeating through your physical and energetic body. Now, I would certainly recommend you do this. Say if you're having a hard time at work and you just need that space in order to recalibrate your vibrations, then either take yourself outside if you have the ability to do that, or take yourself off to the toilet. And if you can, I would certainly recommend that you do this exercise that we've just done, and just notice the difference of how you felt before doing it and how you felt after doing it. And you'll find you'll feel more refreshed, you'll feel supercharged, you'll have more inspiration, you'll be able to interact in your life at a more productive angle there. So give that a try. That's just something I thought I would share with you. Also, what I'd like to talk about is the tone of your voice. Obviously, when we're speaking, we're creating words, we're creating energy, we're creating sound. And beneath all of that, there is frequencies that are interwoven into that communication. So notice the next time you listen to somebody talk or the information they're exchanging with you, notice how the vibration, the frequencies behind that communication is having an impact on you. With most people, it will either have a magnetic quality, it will draw you in, wanting you to interact and listen more to them, or in some cases, it will detract you from their vibration because you're feeling that frequency behind that information that they are communicating with you, and it's not in alignment with your true self. So you remove yourself from that frequency. So just notice about the people that you interact with on a daily basis and how you feel upon having those interactions with them. Noticing that as well as the information, the frequency behind the information. And once you're aware of this, you'll start to have more deeper, meaningful connections with people. You'll also have that greater understanding how precious your own vibration and energy is. And so when something makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, the frequency behind the sound, then you will simply remove yourself from that experience there. But also with audible frequencies, I'd like to share about spiritual downloads. So what am I talking about here? Well, those of you that are sensitive, or even if you're not sensitive, you will be experiencing what I'm about to describe to you at some core level. And for me, I find that when my spirit guides and helpers have communications they want to share with me, maybe inspiration that they're wanting to give me, it comes in the form of frequency. And if I notice that my right ear is humming, making a humming sound, or it's popping with the air that's being displaced within the right eardrum, then to me that is an indication that spirit are bringing forward these inspirations. And these inspirations, the frequency behind them, have got to percolate with my vibrational energy for me to interpret them, understand them, and then maybe take action upon receiving those. Also, there's such a thing called angelic downloads that we all experience at some part of our life, but many of us don't realize that this is what's happening. Now, I want to pose the question to you all. How many times have you had an experience where your left ear is ringing? It's like a high-pitched shrill noise, like a that sort of tone, and it can last for up to a minute at the most, and in some cases it can be very uncomfortable, quite painful, as this frequency feels like it's moving through your brain as well as your eardrum at the same time. Now, what's happening here? I don't know if anybody remembers the old computer systems where we had to put a cassette tape in and wait for the program or the software to load up into the computer. Well, back in the day, in the early 80s, when this was the case, it would have made some Kodak sort of noises, like a well, all of this sound was frequency, was coding, was information. Well, this is the analogy that I'm using, because that's what's happening with angelic downloads, because we're receiving all of that information there, and it's being installed into our energetic body, our physical body, and also our DNA is being upgraded, and we're getting those codings, we're getting those high vibrational uploads so that we can then interact on a more high vibrational level there. And having this information installed into our being will also make us feel a little bit more high vibrational. It will give us that inspiration. It will allow us to have more spiritual encounters, also be more sensitive with our day-to-day living there. So having these encounters are a blessing in disguise. So the next time you experience that shrilling noise in your ear, your left ear in particular, that is an indication that it is from the angels, their energetic download codes being installed. And just wait after that, maybe a day or two, for things to start to percolate with you to get that inspiration. Maybe notice the way that you're changing your behavior, your demeanor, and the way that you interact with people after receiving these downloads and upgrades there. It's very interesting when we go through this process, definitely. But you've got to be gentle with yourself when you do go through them. Now, another thing about audible frequencies is what I'd like to describe as earth tone. Now, this is where Mother Earth is emitting frequency. Mother Earth is expanding and growing because, after all, it's a living being, isn't it? It's energy, it's frequency. So it's continually expanding and growing. And some of you may be able to experience and understand this sound that I'm about to describe to you. I've had this experience on a few occasions throughout my life where I've heard this very, very low, it's the lowest of low frequency sounds that I've ever heard, rumble. And it's a rumble that you hear with your physical ears, but also it's that low, the frequencies are that resonant that it causes a vibration to run through your body. Almost like if you've ever been to a concert where they're playing like drum and bass music or very bass heavy orientated music, and not only do you hear that vibration, but you feel it in your chest, in your physical body. You feel your physical body shake and vibrate. Well, this is very much in alignment with my experience anyway of earth tone and hearing Mother Earth making these frequencies. And usually when I've experienced this, it happens in the early hours of the morning when everything is quiet, maybe sort of 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, if anybody's still up at that time. And I've experienced this low, really like, it sounds quite menacing when you first hear it because it's so low, it's so guttural. But in actual fact, it makes you shimmer right through all of your physical body as well. And again, this is because Mother Earth is expanding, Mother Earth is growing. And with this being said, it's having an impact upon all of its occupants and all of the things that are placed on Mother Earth as we're all vibrating and heightening our frequencies together. But this is usually an indication of the beginning of that process. So if you have that ability or gift to be up that earlier in the morning, say 2, 3 a.m., maybe 4 a.m., you may get the experience of hearing the earth tone frequencies. Now, as I say, don't be alarmed by this process. It can sound a little bit intimidating, but I assure you that everything's going to be fine. That's what you're experiencing there. Now, disembodied voices. Now, I really enjoy this part of audible frequencies simply because I am a spiritual medium, as you already know there as well. And so disembodied voices, I'm sure most of you, whether you're aware of it, that you have the ability of hearing spiritual energy or not, that you will have had this experience at some part in your life where you may be just in between that sleep state. You're just dropping off to sleep at night. You're neither awake, you're neither fully asleep, and then all of a sudden you can hear your name being called. And it's as if it's being spoken right directly in your earlobe, in your eardrum. And it snaps you out of going into a deeper sleep, and it makes you jolt. It wakes you up because you're hearing your name being called. Now, this can happen also when you're just about to wake up in the morning. So you're not, again, fully asleep. You're half awake. You're just coming round, and then all of a sudden you hear your name being called. Sometimes it can be very loud in your physical ear. It can sound like a whisper like that. It depends upon who that spirit communicator is that's doing this, because that's what's happening. A spirit communicator, because your vibration is acceptant of these frequencies, these audible frequencies that normally in our day-to-day life, our subconscious mind would maybe be programmed not to hear these frequencies. So with that being turned off, with us being relaxed in that state of no man's land, so to speak, with our consciousness, we're more susceptible to hearing these frequencies. And that's what you're hearing. You're hearing spirit drawing in close, trying to get your attention. It's nothing to worry about. They're just wanting to let you know that they're there and about. If you do have that ability to maybe hold that frequency, hold that vibration, so you can hear more of their communications that's being given to you. Now, this is obviously a direct voice phenomenon, as it's called, or direct spirit communication. So most of you will have had this experience at some part in your life there. And so this is what I'm talking about. It's usually when you're in your most relaxed state. You're neither asleep, you're neither awake, you're just in between no man's land, as I like to call it. And this gives them that perfect opportunity, and you the perfect opportunity, to just accept that vibrational frequency that is always acting around us at every single moment of the day. So just pay attention of those 2 times of day, when you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning, for hearing this. Don't be alarmed. Don't be intimidated by it. It's a very natural process, and it's a process that you're tuning into as you, as that sort of resistance has been removed, because you're in that relaxed state there. So it's a wonderful thing to actually encounter. And there's some paranormal investigators out there. I'm sure some of you that are listening do this as well. Where you can take an electronic device, maybe on your investigations there, and consciously you can ask with intention of any spirits, any entities, any beings that want to make communication with you. You can first of all explain who you are. That's always a good start on a paranormal investigation. And then tell them that you mean them no harm and why you're there. And then ask a question out with your electronic device on record, and leave a little break in the conversation. So you ask a question, leave a little break, and then you ask another series of questions and leave that pause in between, and then review that recording. Ideally on some sort of headphones or good speaker. You may have to turn and crank the volume up to full while you're hearing this, and listen to any responses that the electronic device has captured. You may hear a whisper like that in response to your question. You may hear a very dominant voice coming through. Usually it's very, very quick like that, just behind yours. And that's because the spirit in question is using all their effort, all their energy in order to bring that communication through. So they have to do it really quick, and you have to pay really close attention in order to hear this. Okay, sometimes you may have to enhance that recording, maybe using some EQ, equalization filters, compression, limiting, in order to hear that message from spirit very clearly. And so that it's very audible, and you make sense of the information that they're bringing through. But given the opportunity, spirit will always make that additional effort to come forward. So the next time that you feel compelled to do this, give it a go. Show that level of respect. But audible frequencies contain so much energy, as I've just been saying there. And also, what I would like to draw your attention to are the sounds that are happening all around us at every moment of the day. Most of us blank these sounds out because we have a mission to do. We have things to do throughout that day. And if you think about it, look at all the sounds that happen. We get out of bed, that makes a creaking sound. We walk along the passageway to the bathroom, that makes a stomping sound. We put the taps on to go to the bathroom. You hear that sound there. So this sounds literally everywhere. And all of these sounds contain a frequency as well. So again, the next time you start your day, just pay more attention to these sounds and the frequencies beneath them. And you'll be surprised how much you take sound for granted. Like I say, we blank these noises out because we have things to do. So we focus on those things to do. But when we take that focus off of that and just listen more, be observant, and feel the vibrations behind these sounds. There's some sounds that we experience, and with you putting your time and your focus upon experiencing these sounds, such as we've all heard a motorbike that's very loud, and it's revving up, and it can be very grating not only to the eardrums, but also to our frequencies as well. It makes us shudder. It can potentially bring that adrenaline, that fight or flight vibration in. So we start and feel tense. We feel the adrenaline rushing around. That's just an example how just a general sound can have an impact on us. So if that causes you that sensation, naturally you're going to want to get out of that environment. So you're in a place that doesn't instill that feeling into you. Also, this sounds that will have the opposite effect. Maybe a brilliant example I could share with you is the sound of a flowing water, like a babbling brook. That can be very relaxing, can't it? Very continual. And the frequency behind that, it can just send that sense of ease and calm in your system, slowing your mind down, slowing your thoughts down. In actual fact, this is why a lot of meditation productions use these sounds within them, because it brings forward those relaxation frequencies, allowing your mind to slow down, to drift off and get into that in-between stage where you're just allowing, you're accepting that interaction with frequency and energy there. So sounds everywhere. Just be aware of them. Maybe spend part of your day focusing just on the sounds that you're hearing and the feeling that they're giving you, the frequency behind the sound. Once you do this, you can start and shape and design your life in a manner that suits you, in a manner that makes you feel at your highest vibration. And when we're all feeling good in that higher state of awareness there, it has a ricochet effect into every facet of our life there. So it's very important that we pay attention to sound, isn't it? Obviously, sound is used for sound healing. People are tuning in and tapping into these vibrations, and sound healing therapists know this, and they'll intuitively connect with their higher self and their client, and then they will perform certain frequencies that will match that misalignment within their client, the individual there, so that they can increase that level of vibration within their energetic being, and also bring forward that resonance harmonic frequency that their energetic and physical body is lacking in that moment. And so you see, we can use sound to either heal us or harm us. It is entirely up to us. But what I'm suggesting for you with this episode today is that you just spend a little time appreciating sound and how it makes you feel. Certain different musics will make us feel differently, won't they, as well? So be aware of that as well. But as ever, I'd like to give you a few examples where I've witnessed and experienced sound. One of them being my daughter, eldest daughter, Amy. I was doing a recording session with her. She was singing a song, and I was producing and recording that for her. And upon her singing, we noticed in between each line of the song, we could hear a lady's voice. We could hear a lady singing that wasn't in the room, that wasn't in the studio, wasn't in the environment, that wasn't in the recording equipment. There was no radio frequencies being picked up by the recording equipment, but we both heard it with our physical ears in the room, and also it was on the recording at the time there as well. So that was an amazing capture, and we felt very privileged to have heard that. It was almost like an angelic voice, like a... We couldn't understand what words were being used, but we did feel that frequency. We both laughed about it. We were a little bit freaked out about it at the time, so I had to explain to my daughter, because she was a little bit younger at the time, what was happening. And that it was a beautiful thing to experience, and not everybody gets that opportunity. So it was fantastic to have that encounter there. Another thing that I've experienced was when I did a paranormal investigation in Liverpool. I believe it was the Newsham Park Hospital in Liverpool, and upon the top floor of that building, a certain part of the building, they have what they called a naughty boys corridor. And this was where they put all the naughty children that was misbehaving. Unfortunately, back in those times, this was seemed as normal, and they would lock them in a room, in a little sort of shoebox room, probably no greater than 3 foot square. And anyway, upon that investigation, not only did I hear it, but other investigators could hear the faint giggling, laughing of children in that area. And we could hear footsteps as well in that area, just playful. Yet you wouldn't expect it in such a negative atmosphere there. But there was lots of children's voices bringing forward this beautiful communication. So I hope this little talk has helped you understand audible frequencies and allowed you to appreciate the experience of audio and the frequencies that are interwoven within them. Well, now we're going to move on to the next segment of the show, which is the channeled section, which sees me becoming a vessel for spirit to bring their communications through. And this is the part of the show that I really enjoy listening back to, particularly because at the time of doing the channeling, I'm not aware of any of the information that's coming through. I'm just simply relaxing. It's almost like being in a state of meditation where you're relaxing and you can hear almost like that sort of a tone, but I'm not aware what's being said. So it's nice to actually hear that back and experience it. So I'm looking forward to listening to this part of the show. So it, like I say, it takes a lot of discipline to bring this information through. A lot of preparation work is involved in being a vessel. A changing of your lifestyle as well keeps your vibrations high so that spirit can blend their energies with you to enable you for them to come through more confidently and comfortable. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's channeling from the world of spirit.
Hello, thank you for listening to this transmission. We'd like to talk to you about change and the fact that change is an inevitable process within every single form that you incarnate into, whether you're animal, whether you're inanimate object, whether you're in another dimension and you're just energy. Change is a part of the evolutional process. It allows expansion upon the universe. It allows that knowledge to be passed on and to be gifted to one and all. It's one and all consuming the knowledge in this beautiful sea of energy and wisdom. So change will occur in all of your lives. And there'll be elements of you that will be wanting to stay in the old storyline, the old narrative, the part of you that feels comfortable and relaxed. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with showing that level of gratitude for where you're at on your timeline. But what we say to you is change is inevitable and it will occur. With some of you, it can be quite dramatic and happen in the blink of an eye, and your life can be turned around into another frequency band and another timeline on your pathway. But also for others, it can happen very, shall we say, in synchronization with who you are and what you're here to achieve. And it can happen very incrementally, so not to overwhelm you into being, shall we say, stubborn enough not to go with the flow of the energy. So we do it slowly, and we allow this change to infiltrate you. And so don't be alarmed when things start to appear slightly different in your life, as this, as we say, is inevitable, and it is for the greatest good and expansion of the universe. But what we'd like to address with you today is change that happens dramatically, to the point where you're shocked out of your old vibration and you move into your new vibration, and that shock alone can be quite traumatic. We're not talking about negative incidents occurring that does this. We're just talking about that significant change, so advanced that it takes you time to recalibrate and understand the lessons that you've learned upon your pathway leading up to this change, and also the fact that you've made this transition, this change. That's an indication to you that you've passed with flying colors. You've passed that, shall we say, earth lesson. That school, that energetic school you've passed. And so the change is a mere gift of reward to you, to let you know you've passed, well done, here's something else for you to work at and tackle. Now, we understand we're talking very vague on this subject, and the reason for that is we simply want the information to be tailored to whatever your circumstance is in your very own timeline. So please take the information we're sharing with you and adopt it into your own timeline so that you can benefit from these healing words of wisdom. But with change, there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, because most of you will fear the change, and that will lead to you feeling very uncomfortable, less confident in this change. And what we say to you, it is in these moments where you are to step outside of your thinking. In other words, the monkey mind, the mind that's chattering in the background, throwing in worst-case scenarios into the forefront of your mind. We want to educate you by saying not to give this your time or attention. Instead, focus on the feeling coming from your heart chakra. Now that sounds very hippie of me to say that, but understand with me saying this, the technique we'd like you to employ is simply focus on your breathing, the breath work, keeping that regular slow pace of breathing, and be mindful of how you are breathing. And the slower and regulated you can get with your breathing will bring a sense of calmness to your physical and energetic body. It will stop your mind from over-processing and will calm the thoughts racing around your mind. But predominantly what this will do is also allow you to focus on your heart chakra, those emotions. When you slow the breathing down and you focus on the breathing, the next moment you will experience emotions, feelings. Now it's these feelings we're talking about that will govern you so that you can feel more comfortable when change inevitably comes into your life. So follow this wisdom the best you can. It will take practice, but with everything, with practice, there becomes perfection. So trust the process. There's going to be a lot of significant changes coming through to you all. And that's because the energies within the universe have changed, and the old narrative has served its purpose, and the new narrative is now being displayed. It will be displayed in various forms on an individual basis within all of your lives. But there's one commonality that you will all observe with all of this, is that those that are willing to follow their heart and trust those vibrations, you will be met with an abundance of opportunity, ideas, inspiration. The things that you've desired within your life will come into your present moment consciousness. They'll be tangible. You'll be able to experience them in your now moment reality. And that's all because you're focusing on your heart. You're trusting the wisdom from your heart, but also your heart is a a magnetic and powerful generator of energy. And when you focus upon this, it will unlock the key to the universe, and it will allow you to blend those magnetic energies from your heart that come in love and come in truth and harmony. It will allow you to blend with those frequencies, and in doing so, your lives are all going to turn out very differently than what you originally anticipated, simply because there is a need for this greater expansion that we speak of. The lower base frequencies and negativity that you've all encountered on varying degrees throughout your life will no longer have a strong hold upon your free will like it has done. And this is down to the fact that you're doing that inner work, you're doing that releasement, you're focusing on the breathing and focusing upon the emotions coming in, the truth vibrations through your heart chakra. And so those of you that take this time out and allow you to go through this experience, this evolutionary encounter, will be met with abundance beyond your wildest dreams. You may have had an idea or an ideal how your life was going to unfold and manifest and turn out, and what we say to you is it's wonderful that you're putting these energies and your creativity into action. However, there is a greater plan, and what you will encounter within your life will supersede anything you've previously tried to manifest or imagine into your current moment reality. So, in a nutshell, we want you to honor that beautiful truth vibrations coming from your heart, trust and have faith that everything is going to work out just beautifully when you do and employ the techniques that we've shared with you in this transmission today. We'd like to thank you for listening, and to help you along your journey to connect in with the heart chakra, we're going to allow an element of sound healing to come through, to now allow you to feel the vibrations within this transmission, and for these frequency downloads, these codes to come into your energetic and physical body, helping you to transcend any illusion that your subconscious mind has created for you in your current reality. Thank you for listening. Relax and enjoy this next part of the transmission.
Wow, what an incredible transmission there from the world of spirit. Interesting to learn more about change. Obviously, that's something that we can all relate to on here, isn't it? Some of us are more stubborn than others, so it's nice to know that that is a natural state of flow. But also, with that stubbornness, it's encouraging us to move beyond those limitations, those roadblocks that we place in front of ourselves, because otherwise we'll be just stuck treading water in that old vibrational energy. And I loved the way that the spirit said that why we change is obviously to expand the frequency of the universe, but also to see it and perceive it like a classroom. When an element of change comes into our lives, we have passed that previous year with flying colours. So we're moving on to the next class. We're moving up a class, so to speak. So I found that fascinating with what they were saying there. And obviously, moving forward into new vibrations, there's great responsibility. And I love the fact that they encouraged us to move away from the monkey mind, the mind chatter, the negative self-beliefs and self-talk there. And instead of dwelling upon those frequencies, to simply align with ourselves by doing breath work, slowing the breathing down, being consciously aware of the breathing. And in doing so, that will enable us to connect with the feelings in our heart chakra, that will navigate us forward confidently through the vehicle of change. So it's allowing us to remove any fears or any lower base frequencies as we move into these new dimensions and frequencies moving forward there as well. And just that's a beautiful gift, isn't it? Following the heart to enable that beautiful energy to come through. Also, I really enjoyed hearing the sound healing at the end there. Now, this is the first time I've heard it back since recording that transmission there. So, I mean, upon hearing it, I instantly felt lighter in my physical and energetic body. I felt a level of comfort as well. I felt really relaxed, really comfortable in hearing that. And also, I was aware that my crown chakra and also my throat chakra were tingling and vibrating very, very highly upon listening to that sound healing at the end there. Also, I was aware that my lower spine was tingling as well. So maybe that was releasing some old belief systems, releasing some energies that needed to be let go of. So I found that fascinating listening back to that for the very first time. I hope it helped you certainly look at things a little bit differently. So next we're going to be moving on to the next segment of the show, which is your forecast reading for this week. So please get a pen and paper at hand if you need to. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's forecast reading. Hello, my name is Glenn Boddice and I'm a spiritual medium, and welcome to this week's energy forecast reading for the week commencing Monday the 5th of June 2023. Now, those of you that have watched before will know that I consult the wisdom of my spirit guides and helpers, and also consult the wisdom of the angel tarot cards. So what I'm about to do is just shuffle the pack and allow a card to come out for this week's energy forecast reading. And right on cue, one has just done that. So here is your card for this week's energy forecast reading. I'm now going to link into the energy vibration of this card. First of all, I'm being told, get ready. This is the start of things to come. This week is going to be absolutely incredible. You'll be very busy. You'll hit the ground running. You'll also endure a lot of negative thought processes at the back of your mind coming forward. Don't judge these. Simply let them go. These are the old belief systems, the old patterns that are now coming out of you, simply because the vibrations have heightened within you, and it is a time for you to get cracking, get going on the path that you desire to walk there. There's going to be a lot of help and guidance, not only from the world of spirit, but also from people around you. Opportunities will present themselves to you. So watch out for that. No matter how big or small, these opportunities are coming in for you. Also, be aware of your breathing. Now, when I say breathing, I'm referring to emotions coming up that will cause your breathing a little bit of an issue there. Nothing too major to be concerned about, but nevertheless, be mindful of the breathing and know that it's not a physical issue as such. It is simply the emotional energy, again, wanting to be expressed, wanting to be communicated and let go of, as this is a time for you to literally get moving on your life there as well. Bearing that in mind, you will have to do a lot of balancing within your life. So trying to please everybody will feel like a juggling act for you this week. With this being said, though, you've got to trust and follow your heart on what and who to prioritize your energy and your intention on during the course of this week. Otherwise, you will get overwhelmed and you could face burnout. So be careful. Be also wary of the need to express yourself through arts, such as drawing, such as writing, such as music, any form of art. Maybe it's dancing, but you'll feel that urge to express yourself this week a lot more than maybe you have been allowing yourself to do over the up and coming weeks. But this week we'll see the start of that process unfolding there as well. I'm also being told, make sure you're getting your rest, make sure you're getting your sleep. You will find it increasingly difficult to doze off of an evening, so wind yourself down. Now, what I'm saying when I say this is your brain is constantly active. It's constantly full of ideas and trying to figure things out. You need to slow down. Have a mechanism in place that will allow you to slow down, relax, and recuperate, and understand that you need to do this to get your full night's rest there as well. Pay attention to others around you, as there will be an element of jealousy in and around you. With this being said, do not judge these individuals. Simply just recognize that that vibration is there, and it is simply up to you whether you put your energy to that vibration or you simply remove yourself from that vibration, allowing you to move and proceed at a more relaxed pace that's in concert with your heart vibration there. So I'm going to turn over the card and go through that with you. So at the top of the card, it reads 3 of Earth. So I'd like you to research the angel number of number 3, as that will give you additional support and information at this moment in time. Earth is talking to you about grounding your energies. Be real. Also, it's telling you to be present in your current moments there. You know, it's all right making plans in your mind, but unless we're present, we can't actually bring them into our fruition there, into our real life reality. So make sure that you're doing this. At the bottom of this card, it reads talent, recognition, and collaboration. Sorry, my dyslexia has kicked in. Collaboration there. With that being said, it's telling you about recognizing the gifts and skill sets that maybe you have laid dormant for many a year, and now is the time for you to express them and allow them to come forward. Again, going in alignment with what my guides were saying earlier as well. The recognition is once you allow people to see the beauty of your gifts, of who you are as an individual, and have that element of bravery so that you can put your work out there and at least show them to people, then you will get that recognition. And accept the recognition, accept the compliments when they come to you, because the energy behind the compliment will catapult you forward in the next level of your journey there, encouraging and inspiring you to create more, you see. And collaboration, obviously, that involves other people wanting to work with you, wanting to bring their skill sets to the party as well in order for you to get a wonderful results of doing that. So looking into the artwork of the card, we've got green around the edge. To me, that represents growth within your heart chakra, within your emotions there as well. So it will see you trusting a lot more this week and having that greater understanding of how you truly feel and allowing your heart chakra to navigate your steps forward in your life there. As you can see at the bottom of the card, it's a lime green color. Whenever I see that, it encourages me to say that it's telling you don't let other people's judgments or perceptions of you dilute the truth of who you are. So keep on keeping on. In the artwork itself, we've got this two female energies, one of them being in the physical form and the other one being an angelic form. With that being said, it's telling you to pay attention to your sensitive side as well. As you can see, this lady is conducting artistic endeavors there. So it's telling you to express that creativity of yours, stop hiding it away, and look at the details as well. Look at the details whilst you're doing that. Also, this card is saying, don't be afraid to roll your sleeves up. There is some work once you commit to doing it, but it will be worth your while there, as it will lead to new opportunities that you may have not considered before actually allowing your true talents and abilities to be expressed there. The angelic feminine behind is also letting you know that you are supported both mentally, emotionally, and also physically and financially as well, because there'll be some of you that will be wondering, well, how am I going to make ends meet? How am I going to support these creativities, these endeavors that I'm inspired to do? Don't worry about that. Just simply listen, follow, and trust, and everything will be brought to you when you need it the most there as well. There is also, as you can see, glass there. Glass is transparent, so it's telling you to be transparent in your communications, be very direct, let people know what's happening. Don't hide things away, don't tell them half-truths. Otherwise, it will leave a stain on your character, very much like this stained glass. So be transparent, be true, be open with people. It's also telling you there's a lot of blues in this card at the background there. So that's telling you to let go of your emotions, express them, but let them go. Obviously, doing creative endeavors helps you to remove those blocks and allow that process to unfold there as well. But as you notice, this lady has got some glasses on her head there as well. That's talking about your inner vision. Allow your inner vision to come into manifestation. And the way that you can do that is simply aligning with that vibration, trusting, and know that everything's going to work out beautifully for you. So that's what I've got for this week's energy forecast reading. Thank you for hearting, liking, commenting, and sharing. I do hope that this has resonated with you. If you've enjoyed what you've seen on here today and you would like a one-to-one private reading with myself or any other of my spiritual services, then please head over to my website, www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com, or you can find me and book me on Facebook, which is Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium on Facebook. Join me every Monday at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on my radio show From Beyond with Glenn Boddice on www.pulsetalkradio.com. In the meantime, have a blessed week and thank you for watching. Bye for now.
Well, it sounds like we're all in for a very intriguing week ahead, doesn't it? And it's nice to know that these energies are now flowing forward, so we can be more creative. We can let that part of our soul have that level of expression. So yeah, it's nice to get that hands up, shall we say, from the universe there coming through in that reading. Thank you once again for tuning in for another episode of From Beyond. I hope you've enjoyed this week's show. I would like to extend that invitation out to anybody that has any show suggestions, any ideas, or even if you have any stories of a paranormal nature, anything to do with spiritual or self-help that you're willing to share with the audience. It'd be fantastic to hear from you. Even if some of the content within this show aligns with you and resonates with you, it would be wonderful to hear your feedback. And you can get in touch by contacting me at www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com or glennboddice@live.co.uk. Again, it would be fantastic to read some of your encounters and, with your permission, to share them and read them out on the show in a future episode. So that invitation is always there for you all. So I wish you all a wonderful week ahead. Whatever it is you're doing, maybe employ some of those techniques that were shared with you by Spirit by focusing on the breathing, connect with the feeling of the heart vibrations in order to embrace change into your own life, whatever you're doing in your life. Use that tool there. So see me same place, same time next week, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on pulsetalkradio.com.
Bye for now. Thank you for listening to From Beyond. For more information about what products and services Glenn provides, go to Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium